and welcome to my presentation. So this is part 2 of a 3-part submission for PROG3D. So I already took you through the home controller and the home page as well as the report issues controller and the report issues page that was a part of part 1. So all it's really changed there is just a little bit of UI changes, nothing too drastic. So for now, let me take you through my code. Let me just start with the controller actually. Yeah, let me start with the controller. So um, firstly, it wasn't really required, but I just figured that it would be better to just store everything in a SQLite. And yeah, so everything is already seeded in it. So once you're on the project with .NET Run, you can just filter and play around with the project. So first we actually have the database context for EF core queries, then the sample service that logs searches and returns recommendations. Then we also reuse the home controller's private nav builder, and then assign a stable anonymous session ID. So this is actually for the searches. So we can just like store everything in a session and actually display recommended options for the user based on what they searched or categories they've selected. Then the main page supports category searches, month, year, filters, and sorts. We build a view model, then you actually get the sessions. Then we only show recommendations in the session here signals, so nothing from other sessions. Okay, then this is not really valid because just to test and play around, I actually created a form to create announcements and create events, but then I realized that it doesn't really make sense in the context of a municipal website where people are going to view it. So I kept the logic in my controller, but I removed it from the index. And yeah, as you can see, this is for the announcement creation. Right, so yeah, so this is where we assemble all data for the page based on filters and sort choices. So whether that's by the month or the year, yeah. And then we actually have the categories filter, then you can search by the event title. Then yeah, this is the month and the year filter. Then here we executing the queries and fast lookup, so we're looking up by ID. Yeah, so this is actually where the dictionary comes into play. And then we actually are grouping the announcement by the category. Then we actually have bucket key by year and the month. Then sorting in the UI, prepare future events only. So that is when filtering by upcoming. And then the diagram structures shown in the UI, we have the queue, the stack, the queue, and the hash sets. So for upcoming events, the later views also it wasn't required, but I implemented it for announcements as well. And actually package everything into the view model. And then well, obviously this isn't really valid anymore because the creating of an event or an announcement would have generated a string or something for the user to track, but actually I just removed that option completely. Then move on to my application DB. Actually, I don't even think this is that required. It's just holding my data, and then I actually have a seeder just to seed the data. And then let me just take you through the local announcements. So we have a unique code that was when actually generating it, but actually, yeah, and is valid. The announcement title, the category, link, the body, and also the time. And then the local events is also just holding the exact same stuff. And then that's the local events view model. So we have the main list shown on the page, then also used if 8 new forms are visible, but now obviously that is not required anymore. Then we have the filtering and the search as well, and the message showing, oh, that was the success message actually, and the fast lookups by the ID, we grouping it to the dictionary, and actually the queue and the next up, the stacks with the farthest, and actually the personalized recommendations with the events. Then let me show you my view, then I can run it for you. So here we just have dynamic categories from the data, which falls back to the static list if it's empty. Well, not really valid because I did see data. And whether category filter is currently applied, then we also localize the month names for the month drop down. Then we sort keys, and we map in the sort keys to display pages, and so that's basically, I will show you when I run for showing what's upcoming, what's later. And then we have the helper to total items in a category, and then we're counting all the filtered sort, we count the sorted announcements. Then we also queuing next up. It's mostly just calling most of the stuff I've already went through from the view model and the controller. So yeah, this is my view model. Let me run it for you and you can check it out. So I will submit it like this as well with the migration already done in the DB build. So all you will have to do is just run the actual project. So let's just take this link and refresh my page. So as you can see, it compiles and runs perfectly. The report issues page, we have gone through it. I just made some UI changes. Also made some UI changes to my home page. I thought it was looking a little bit too plain, so I just wanted to make it look a bit more like a municipal website. And then the service request status is still switched off for now. And then we have the local events page. So here, as you can see, it's like a nice, neatly laid out page where we are actually listing the total amount of events, total amount of announcements, the next up, and the active categories. So here is the recommended options. So I think this is actually using a previous session. So what I will do is just make a new session. Right. So now if I filter for electricity, so as you can see at the moment everything is showing, and if I filter for electricity, now the recommended options, of course, is just going to be all the electricity options, but now that's going to be held for later. the events itself is only going to be showing electricity options. As you can see, this is where the stacks and the queues come into play. So where the upcoming events are filtered to show the later states first, or well, the earlier states first, my apologies. And then if you filter to later, now it's going to show the later dates first, going down in descending order. And that's the same thing for the announcements. So this is when you filtering for the category. Let's just apply no filter. So as you can see, the recommended options still going to remain because that's held in this user's session. So now if I were to search for the New Year Community Fair, okay, that is already there. Let's just say water awareness. That is not there. And as you can see now, it is the only option that recommended options. Well, that is because we searched it. But the events as well is only the water awareness. Now, if we remove this filter and apply it, as you can see, the water awareness walk still remains in the recommended options. So it's just like a simple way of analyzing user search patterns. And as you can see, so let's just filter by month. So I don't have anything for 2025 at the moment, so let's just apply the filter. As you can see, the total announcements that are live is 10, but the events listed is 0. There is no next up, there is active categories though. So let's just change this to 2026. As you can see, now we have a next up, which is 05 Chan, which is actually the New Year Community Fair. And let's just change it to April. Now we have Sanitation Awareness Day. And that will obviously be held in the recommended for you. So let's just remove the filters. So that is the gist of how my website works. We still have the notifications, but haven't really done anything more to it other than UI changes because it was not required for the submission. And we also have an archive of the dates that are active. So we have, as you can see, we have one for each month at the moment. So let's just filter according to January or February. Oh, we still have it on 2025, 2026. And as you can see, the archive just has one that is visible, and that is the water awareness walk. So that is my project. As you can see, categories are also sorted to say how much are in the category itself. So this is also before filtering happens, just collecting all the data. And yeah, that is my